Hi BookTube, it's Peg, back at the History Shelf. This is my second attempt at this video. I was several minutes in, and my little El Capitan dog over here, Gidget, decided she wanted to go outside and distracted me. So we're trying this again. This is a Nonfiction November update, as well as a small used book haul. So we'll just start right now with my update. I am powering my way through the Puritans, a transatlantic history. This is the advanced review copy. It's just, I kind of, making notes and stuff. Steve sent me the finished copy, but I'm kind of working through this one because I'm going to review this for the for Open Letters Review. Learning a lot about how the English and the Scottish churches began their Puritan the foundations of Puritanism within the Reformation, Protestant Reformation, in the 16th and 17th centuries in England and Scotland. And now I'm in the part now where they're starting to go over to emigrate and colonize North America, like Jamestown, the Plymouth colonies, and all that. So learning a lot about the Puritans. I haven't really read too much about them before. I realized after I started reading this that I have another book by this author, and it's called A Reforming People. Gosh, I should have had that one out. But yeah, so this author is well steeped in this topic, so he knows of what he writes. So I'm enjoying it. I'm about 120 pages away from the end, so just in the home stretch, as it were. And then I've also started The Accursed Tower by Roger Crowley, The Fall of Acre, and The End of the Crusades. Every time I see that, it's like Acre, but I've heard it pronounced Acre. Anyway, I'm at the part now where poor Louis IX of France, his seventh crusade has ended in a dismal failure in Egypt, and now he's on his way back to Acre to try to raise money to get more troops, and also to provide the ransom for many of the hostages that I believe it was the Mamluks took during the Seventh Crusade. He was trying to get his men back who were being held hostage for ransom. And I have to say, so far, Louis IX is a very sympathetic character. He was a brave fighter, and he really tried hard to win back men that were taken, and he was very honest about it, and he suffered horribly from dysentery. And it's all very humiliating for him, but he still held on to his beliefs. And so I guess the failure of the Seventh Crusade just kind of pushed everyone, as far as the Christian remnant of the Christian community of Outremer, which is French, I believe, for overseas, to the very edges of this one strip of land. And let me just show you. There's a map that shows, after all of the other crusades had failed and they were, their gains were pushed back, and so let me see if you can see that. So if you see the strip of land here, I can't get my fingers to work here. There we go. Yeah. So that's really all that was left to them, and they had these massive castles and keeps and forts. But the Accursed Tower apparently was like the toughest one in Acre to take. And there is another map of that. This is pretty cool. I love this map. This is so detailed. And the Accursed Tower is right there. So there's two sets of walls, and it's in the inner wall. Anyway, so the battle for the Accursed Tower happens in around 1291, so I've left off where it's 1250. And we're going to see where it takes us from there. But I love this I love reading about crusades. Just because I'm interested in medieval warfare and all this kind of other stuff. So it's really good read. It's very fast-paced. Okay, so on to the used book haul. these are books that I saw or talked about on others' channels, and I believe um, two of them were, and one of them was just a curiosity that was sparked by none other than Steve Donahue, who told us in his NaNoWriMo vlogs that at first he was going to write about Philip Sidney, and I'm like, who is Philip Sidney? I'd never heard of him. So I don't think that's what he was writing about now. I'm not sure. I apologize if I get that wrong, Steve. But anyway, so I thought I'd educate myself, and I got this biography on Philip Sidney, A Double Life by Alan Stewart. Got this for about $5 off of Thrift Books. It's in great condition. Nice end papers. A Double Life. So apparently Philip Sidney, he was a son of Elizabeth I's deputy in Ireland. He was also the nephew and heir to her favorite, Leicester. Anyway, he led quite an interesting life. There's a lot of political intrigue here. Short life, I guess. But yeah, so I got Philip Sidney to add to my English royalty and court histories and stuff like that. Okay, so this next book reminds me of that category of books that Steve has talked about, where he read a book, he didn't really care for it, and then he'd watch someone else on booktube, like Jason at Byways and Bookland, say, oh, he loved this book, and he's like, you know what, maybe I should give this book a chance and I'll read it again, and then he liked it. So he was pleasantly surprised, and actually I was interested in the topic as well, so I looked up and I got this book as well. I looked up this book to add to my I'm starting to build an Italian Renaissance history library. I want to know more about them. Ever since I read the book on the Borgias, I've been really intrigued. And that's been an area where I never really spent a lot of time in reading, but now it's really appealing to me. So this is The Devil's Broker, Seeking Gold, God, and Glory in 14th Century Italy by Francis Stoner Saunders. So, so I thank Jason and I thank Steve for leading me to this book. This is the wonder of BookTube. Of course, I keep adding to my shelves, and it just never ends. But anyway, was it A Gentle Madness, as Nicholas Basbanes calls it? The lot of the bibliophile. It's a gentle madness, you know. So this is going to be a very fun read, and I got this used, great condition, probably $5. Okay, and the last one I got, this is just, I forgot where I saw it, but this is Crowded with Genius, The Scottish Enlightenment, Edinburgh's Moment of the Mind by James Buchan. Now, I knew the name because, I think that's why I looked it up, is because I just recently got a book by him, a small volume on Adam Smith, who's also, each little quadrant has a name attached to it here, who's also written on Adam Smith. But ever since I read God's Funeral by A.N. Wilson, I've been intrigued with Scottish thinkers, especially David Hume, and just that whole crowd. I mean, Scottish Enlightenment was really something, and I'm just fascinated by all these people. And some of them I actually haven't heard of, so I'm happy to learn more about them. But he's going to be covering James Boswell, David Hume, Adam Smith, Adam Ferguson, William Cullen, Robert Burns, Joseph Black, Sir Walter Scott, obviously, and James Hutton. And I got this for a song as well. We've got some great pictures in here, like this guy. I've never really heard of him. I'm looking forward to. This is James Hutton, this guy right here. Of course, there's David Hume. Great philosophers. So I just love history. Just love it. Oh, and each little chapter has a little drawing, a little hand drawing there, a little ink drawing. It's really cool. So anyway, this is just going to cover the Scottish Enlightenment and their thoughts, and I can add this to my collection of the James Buchan books that I have. So these are just 3. I thought I'd just make a very quick video, let you know where I'm at for Nonfiction November. And it's suitable or appropriate, I should say, that all of these are nonfiction, obviously. So, okay, guys, so that's all for now. I've got more videos I need to make. I have more books in the foyer in boxes that I need to unbox and show you. I also wanted to show you some things that came in the mail. You know what? I can't resist right now because this is just a great magazine. So I got the new issue of the Civil War Monitor, and it's all about Andersonville. It's so awesome. And just look at the color on this. It's just, you know, camera is not doing it justice, but this is an amazing piece of artwork right here. Anyway, this is Life and Death at the Civil War's Most Notorious Prison. So yeah, this is the new issue. This is the winter 2019 issue. It's a quarterly magazine. I highly recommend it if you are a Civil War fan. Wow. Look at that. That's the camp. So I got this and I was like, oh, I gotta show this. I love showing you guys that, but I have a ton more magazines, and I have mentioned before showing those to you, and I need to, so I'm gonna write it down on my trusty little post-it note of ideas for content, video ideas, you know. So let's say magazines. I have military history magazines that span all the different time frames. What else? Just general history. I have intellectual stuff. New Criterion has some great articles and things like this. So anyway, more ideas. Okay, guys, so I'll just keep talking if I don't hit stop. So you guys have a great night. Take care, be safe, be well, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, BookTube.